Good morning. This is Uche Njoku, Sneaker Principal. And in this episode of the Sneaker Principal podcast, I want to talk to you about being vulnerable as a leader. There's this expectation that as a leader, you have to be 100% stoic, share nothing about yourself, be very straight lined about the job, just lead. And some people take this to heart because there's this risk that if you share too much, if you make yourself too human, that people will try to take advantage of it. People will try to use your vulnerability against you, especially in a space where you are leading and people might not fully agree with you or not like the fact that you are bringing stability to a community by eliminating the bad behaviors or the unprofessionalism that has possibly put the school, the community, into a space of disrepair. And so as a result, you have to, you quote unquote have to be very careful. You might say the wrong thing or you might be a little too relaxed. And these are just realities. There's just realities that I'm sure every leader of some capacity have faced or questioned or thought about. But however, I think it's very important to also understand that by being too robotic, being too straight-laced, being too anything can have a counter effect on you as the individual. Because what ends up happening is you become like a steaming pot of hot water, needing to release, needing to be, not so closed in. And what ends up happening is some leaders find themselves backing up into a corner, with that kind of mindset that everyone is a threat, everyone is possibly against me or will use what I say against me, or whatever the case may be. And that's not healthy at all. And so as a result, I wanted to share with you that it is okay to be vulnerable. It is okay to be human. The most important thing, of course, you need to know your community. Just like you just won't share every little thing about yourself with even family members, unless there's trust there, or there is some sense of familiarity where you're like, okay, we are in a bi-directional relationship. And let's be honest here, there's no guarantee that that is what is happening. But however, wouldn't you like to live in a space, work in a space? Because if you are a school leader, you work in schools, you live there as well. We spend so much time in our school buildings with our families in the community. And it's not like you are working in a company where you're just moving widgets. Where you're selling and receiving money. You're in a space where you are continuously establishing human relationships. And to establish human relationships without you being able to be human is very difficult and very unhealthy. In my case, some of you might know, I shared this in other platforms, that my father passed away on August 22nd. And this was en route to my mother's 70th birthday. I found out on the plane I was flying to Las Vegas. I got a text message that he had passed away. And regardless of that whole situation, it is something that in any family that's going to take its toll. And I shared it, with a few people, but also as the funeral was coming along. Actually, I'm dressed to head to the airport to go to the funeral out in the Midwest, and I decided to share this with my staff because people talk, and at some point in time, it would get to them that this is what I'm doing right now. What I've done over the course of this weekend, and it seems to work with people that I've invested in over the past over a year now. To not share that piece of me would what I think would only work to make me more distant from people, even though I've worked very hard to get close to them. So yes, I sent an email to my staff saying, "Hey, this is what's going on, and before you find out from somebody else, but some of you know, but some of you don't know, this is what's happening right now, and I just want to share this with you." And even though I was doing it because I was thinking about how this would better serve my community by just having them know this about me, the return from it, the outpour of support and love, honestly, did me good as a human being. It did me good as a member of the community, not just a community leader. Because at the end of the day, a leader, follower, we're members of a community, and there has to be some level of bi-directional connection happening in our spaces. So, yeah, I was very touched. The emails that came back in response, the people who stopped me in the hallways, and the hugs and the handshakes and the well wishing. Again, this is something that I think only moves to strengthening the bonds of our community. Um, like we have new babies that are being born in our community. We have people who've had their own tragedies and people who are celebrating. Like all these things need to be um, recognized and seen. But as a leader, you have to be seen in there too. You have to also be a willing participant in that community. So I just wanted to share this with you this morning for those of you who struggle with this, to tell you that it is okay. You know, of course within reason, but it is okay, because again, for us to really build community and really move our school communities forward, you have to be human in these spaces. And yeah, well, my Uber is going to be here in 5 minutes, so I got to go. Again, thank you for allowing me this space to speak with you and share with you. And again, till next time, be well.